welcome back, guys.
Welcome back.
Baby got stacks,
And we got a doozy.
but
I
it's a
love
cute
It's a
doozy.
cute. Oh. Also,
This.
why did this book kind of have me crying at the end?
Oh, I didn't. I was
Oh.
more shocked on the spiciness of this book compared to the first one. Amy really turned this up a notch. Speaking of Amy, this is the second book that we've done for a podcast on her. Her very first book, we absolutely loved.
It's a wife. We love that book. We have an episode up on it if you want to go listen to us gush about that one. Or you can stick around and hear us gush about this one.
And she is such a supportive author. She follows us on our social media and she reposts.
Oh, she seems so sweet. I would love to meet her.
We also we have not been gifted both of these books. We bought them with our own money.
No, we bought them, and I'd buy them again.
Yeah, we have no affiliation. We're not getting paid to like say nice. Just because she follows us does not mean that she gifts us things.
No.
We're not getting. We don't make money off of these episodes. I'm telling you that right now. And yes, so the very first book, Kit McBride Gets a Wife, we absolutely loved. These books follow a family, the McBride siblings. There's 4 brothers and 1 sister, Junebug. And so the whole backstory is it's the late 1800s in Montana. Junebug is very tired of taking care of her 4 older brothers. Dad ran off, mom passed away, and she's under one of the cherry trees as well as all of her sisters who passed. So she's very tired of taking care of these 4 mountain men. And so she decides to put in a ad for her first brother, and it goes so well with Maddie that she decides I'm gonna give it another go and puts one in for Morgan, who is the oldest brother of the siblings. There's Bo, Morgan, Kit,
and Jonah.
Could not remember. I for some reason thought his name started with an L. I don't know. So I guess I could read the back of the book.
Read the back.
As the oldest of the McBride siblings, Morgan had to be protector and shepherd since Ma died and Pa ran off. Hasn't always been easy, especially when his heart longs to roam on the trail, but now that his brother Kit is married and settled, time is right for Morgan to leave Bucks Creek. Little does he know that his hellcat of a little sister, Junebug, is dead set on keeping him at home and getting more help around the house, all with one honest advertisement in the matrimonial news. Epiphany Hopgood has always had a gift for doing the exact wrong thing. Pip's too long, too loud, too opinionated, and too contrary for her family and community. Staring down the barrel of sisterhood, she and her grandmother answer a seemingly straightforward ad for a bride. However, when Pip shows up at Bucks Creek, she finds that Morgan McBride is not the husband she expected. In fact, he doesn't even want to be a husband, but maybe there's a way to make everyone happy out on the Montana frontier.
You said too long instead of too tall.
She's too long horizontally.
One might say too long.
From now on, instead of saying tall, I'll be like, she's just really long.
She's really long.
In my head, so I've always been, I know I read the back of these books, but I've always been that person that like gets very anxious, like in the classroom. You were trying to figure out, you were counting
which paragraph is yours.
Exactly, so you could just get
and I practiced the words in my head.
So in my head, I saw the loud. And it
I do that too. Long. I read ahead and then I jumble my words.
Also, while reading this, it reminded me of the grandmother, and the grandmother in this. I said that very strange. Grandmother in this book was a chef's kiss. She's amazing.
Fantastic. Probably my favorite character. She gives me the energy of the grandma in Mulan.
Yes.
Like how the end, she's like asking Shane, like, do you want to stay for dinner? And you just hear the grandma in the background. You want to stay forever?
Yeah. She's fantastic because so Epiphany or Pip, her and her family are from Nebraska. corn century, so there's nothing but cornfields, and the family is very, I don't want to say wealthy, but it's definitely like the typical
Posh,
1800s, very posh.
prissy.
Yes, yeah. There's not too many like pickings, I guess you would say, and so her family's gonna set her up with the neighbor kid. Neighbor kid didn't want her, so they're like, well, she'll just be a spinster and just stay at home. And grandma lives with them, which that was
Both grandmas in
both
one room
grandmas.
in the
Yeah.
attic.
So then the grandma was like, well, I'll come with you to supervise. And they were like Mel said, they were very prim, proper, everything like that. And so as soon as grandma gets on the frontier, she's just trying to like give her all these things. Like you go kiss the boy first. And she's like, oh my grandma.
Yeah, grandma's out to have a good time.
She really is. And the old men on the frontier,
all them trappers.
love it. Oh my god, they love her. Yeah.
Ugh.
And so
And I want to like mention that these are historical rom-coms, but even if you don't like historical settings per se, still give this a chance.
I don't think
They're so funny.
As I try to get an eyelash out of my eyeball, I don't think that it's too like.
No.
I don't know. I don't think
it's not like a historical. It's not like Chris and Hannah where it's like serious and
yeah.
It's still a rom-com. Still totally a rom-com.
So basically, obviously Morgan has no idea that Junebug ordered a bride yet again. And so Pip, in this book, Pip has it out that Morgan is going to marry me. I don't care what happens, but I'm going to get him to fall in love with me. And so this book is basically Pip's journey of trying to get Morgan to not be so stubborn. And it is fantastic.
It's so good. And yeah, it's her and her grandma, and then Junebug starts calling the grandmother by her first name. She's like, well, Martha said. And they just like becomes really close, and it's so cute. I wasn't expecting Willoughby to come back. Which was so fun.
That.
Bringing it around town.
Yes, Willoughby, or Willabelle or whatever you. I think it might be Willoughby. Anyways, she's part of the first book, so she's actually the original bride that had answered the ad that Junebug had for Kit, and Maddie was her maid, and Willoughby found someone else, ran off with him, and so Maddie had to step in and pretend to be Willoughby, and so it was a very fun twist to see her back in action.
Again. And that's stranded.
She's stranded
because the cowboy loved her. So funny.
And the dog was back. Oh
the dog that Junebug stole.
Yeah. I honestly I think I liked this book better than the first one.
I think I like this one better. What I like is it's the oldest brother. So Morgan being the oldest, I kind of like how the problems that in the situations that they bring up is super personal to each brother. Like with Kid, it was his twin brother Charlie had left to try to hunt down their father, and with Morgan, it's the struggle of being the oldest and having to raise everyone when the dad left, and the mother was like, take care of the kids for me, and he felt like he had to for a multitude of reasons. And kind of overall the topics were a little more mature, I guess, in a sense with Morgan, of the like finding your place and like feeling trapped and just getting dead set on going and being free somewhere, and the spice level.
Amy brought it up a notch on the spice level. I was not prepared for that whatsoever. Like I was telling Mel before we started rolling, I let my grandma borrow the first book. Grandma's not getting the second book. She doesn't need to know. She doesn't need to know.
Oh,
no, so I was very taken aback by that, and
happily surprised. It was good.
Oh, it was very, I would say tasteful.
Very well written. It was still tasteful, yeah.
I would say tasteful.
Yeah.
It wasn't like too over the top. It was just enough little.
And but it wasn't censored. It was a good middle ground where
it was not censored. was not. I was reading this and I was like, oh my goodness. Okay.
Hold there. I know. I got the amount of times nipples were mentioned, but his nipples I thought was hilarious. I did. It makes me chuckle.
Yeah, I was when she got with when she decided to, she was like, well, if this feels good on me, I'm gonna do that to him. And I was like,
Which is fair thinking. I see the logic.
and hey, if you like that, we're not
That's what
judging.
I like.
But it threw me for a loop, I can tell you that.
Catch me off guard.
It did catch me off guard. I did forget about that. Yes, but
And what I really appreciate, kind of going towards the end of the book, maybe like 3/4, I was like, I wonder how we're gonna get the next one, because now Junebug's ordered up 2 brides. They have to be expecting it. So I wondered how it was gonna fall through. Plus the last 2 brothers, Bo is kind of a playboy. He's like super charming and he knows he's handsome and he really gets with all the girls in town. And then Jonah is, it never says their exact ages, but we know Jonah is the youngest.
Yeah.
So I don't know. How old is Junebug supposed to be? She was like 13 in the first one, so she must be like 14, 15-ish?
I thought she was 14.
14, probably. So Jonah might be, I don't know what the age differences are. So
Well, I think he's
17, 18.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I pictured Bo to be.
I pictured Bo to be like 19, 20.
Yeah. But yeah, I was wondering how she was gonna transition to the next one, because like she can't pull this crap 3 times. There's no way.
And now,
I love how it ended.
Yeah, so Bo and Junebug have a bet of who could find him a better wife. And she said that if she wins, he's taking her to the circus. She really wants to see. She really wants to see the circus.
Travel to the circus.
Yeah.
And the part that almost made me cry was Junebug's letter to Morgan.
Oh, that one was very good.
That was so sweet. And you can see, I like how we're following Junebug. Like, we're watching her grow up and become more mature. Like, the first book, she would have never just let Morgan go.
No, yeah. And I liked
her grow up.
I did like, as hard as it was, like, reading Morgan had actually followed through and left. I liked that, because I feel like it would have been too easy to write the book being like, okay, he found her, he's gonna stay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I liked that, and I liked the twist with Willoughby and the like extra setting, and then I liked that they traveled, and that
Junebug got to go on a train for the first time.
Yeah, and then I also liked the questions.
Yeah, so cute. Like, well, you can't marry a stranger.
Yeah, I thought that was very sweet.
I love that he wrote them down and that he was like writing down the answers too. And she's like, like, there's question, it's filled, the paper's filled front and back.
I also thought it was hilarious that Vern really wanted Pip.
One of my questions was going to be about Vern, because at first I felt so bad for him. I was like, this poor dude just like has a crush and he really wants her. But then there's questions. Morgan comes on the train after Vern had upgraded Pip's train ticket to first class, and Morgan's like, you need a man that like wants to settle down, and Vern's like, I'll settle. And Morgan like not traveling, like really loves you. I like her. And like, and then need a ring. I have a ring.
And then he goes, you did this with the other one and you wanted to get married. Yeah, we did get married. She goes, you're already married? He goes, I can get a divorce. I'm like, oh my God.
I can get a divorce. Well, why? Well, she left me because I was out traveling all the time. Well, see, you need a man who'll settle down. Well, I'll stay this time. Vern.
I was like, oh, that's amazing.
So the question was going to be like, do you still feel bad for Vern? I was almost wondering before reaching the end where we saw how the next book was going to come about with Bo. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, maybe it's gonna be like a spin-off of like the grandma or like Vern or like trying to find love.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, I wonder like with the grandma and stuff. But I feel like so Amy does a really good job of kind of picking up like where we left off in the second book
Yeah,
and giving us like updates on all of the characters because
everyone.
you get to see like Kit and Maddie are making their house and like
Yeah,
you just get to kind of see people progressing. And I feel like I'm gonna be a little sad when these end eventually.
I'm gonna be a little sad. I know, because there's only. Well, I'm okay. Here's what I'm hoping: Bo next,
Hmm.
Jonah, and
Hmm.
then I hope there's a fifth of Junebug finding love.
I can only imagine
That'd
what
be so
man.
sweet. The type of a man.
I, I can only imagine. I
Because which
also
is it? There's a guy who like retrieves their mail for her, and like he's kind of starting to
yes.
give her looks. I
Yeah.
forget what
Yeah,
his
which
name
makes
is.
Morgan very like he's not like that. And then I also like too how when they arrived at Mill City or Miles, whatever the
Yeah,
town that
Miles
they
City Town. Yeah,
and when Junebug was like, "We'll just take one of Willoughby's dresses," she goes, "We can't do that." She goes, "It's fine. I've already done it once,"
I've done it before. And
which
then
is true.
once Willoughby sees them in her dress, she's like, Junebug, have you been in my dresses again? Like,
Yeah, it was very
so
wholesome.
good.
I loved it.
Like I'm so excited to see in the next book because the grandmother decided to stay too. So I wonder if she's gonna stay in Bucks Creek or in the
She
town down
might
the mountain.
she might stay in Bucks Creek.
Um, but I think it'll be so funny because I already see whatever wife comes about next book,
Hmm.
Grandma hyping her up. Grandma Martha's gonna be like,
Oh yeah,
listen, these these McBride men.
I'm very excited. Yeah, it's gonna be really good.
So
I guess I
good.
can do my
You can do
Goodreads.
your roundup and then I got a
I just
question or two for you.
I just read your rating, and I so obviously I knew that we'd give this 5 stars
Oh
because,
yeah.
but I just liked your comment. What a fool I was thinking I couldn't love the McBride series more. What a fool.
What a fool.
Um, so this is out of 4.01 stars. It has 755 ratings. It just came out
Earlier
in
this
May
year,
of
yeah.
this year. It has majority of 4 stars. I'm gonna get really mad at these 1 stars.
We're ready to fight.
So there's only 4 1 star.
Wow, they're countable.
There's only 4.
Holy smokes.
Um,
Okay.
there's no comment for that one.
Um,
Um,
explain yourself.
this one, I think this one was a bit better romance than the first one. Loved the granny character, very funny. Um,
These are all
thought that
sounding positives.
the body dysmorphia thing was odd, but wasn't overbearing. Um,
I mean, that's very common, especially for women back then.
says I think that Morgan's issue in this book were much better written. I'm very confused by
These
this
are
1 star.
sounds great. Maybe she pressed the
I,
wrong star.
I wish that there was a longer stretch between Epiphany showing up and Morgan leaving. It was a bit campier than the last one, which I think may be the only way to deal with this. Still not a great solution though. I don't
What? I'm so
Ellen,
confused.
I don't understand you, but okay.
Ellen, figure it
Um,
out.
the main couple had barely 3 conversations total, so the entire romance was fueled by a single riverbank kiss. No, thank you.
It wasn't just a kiss.
I was gonna say there was a lot more than that.
And you
Also, I
have to
thought it
take
was
into the
hilarious.
historical
Yeah,
context of she older and she's basically her parents have just like given up on finding her husband and be like, oh well, you're gonna be a spinster, you'll stay home and take care of us, cool. And
yeah.
she's just out trying to get a man, and then here's this man,
And
and
I feel like
working.
the chemistry, like the anticipation,
Exactly, yeah.
was what was bringing them together. Okay,
And they
whatever.
were talking like when she was trying to collect herbs and
Yeah.
cooking the fish. They gotta like she taught him how to like fill the fish, and they're cooking and camp like eating the food and then dancing and then the river scene. So it what
Has she never heard of one night stands?
Yeah,
Sometimes people just don't talk. I don't
it just happens.
Yeah. And the very last one, I don't leave a lot of negative reviews, but just in case someone like me was expecting a sweet, clean love story like the first book in the series, this is
Mm.
not it. Less driven romance and very explicit, spicy scenes. Also a lot more swearing than I remember in Kit's book. Disappointed. Okay,
All
lady.
right. Well, listen.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, she liked the first one.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a little off guard just because, but I feel like it matched the brother. Like
He's
Morgan's
more.
older, Morgan's
Yeah.
already had experience, and Kit
Mhm.
was really reserved and really stayed in Bucks Creek and hadn't traveled. Like it matches the
Yeah.
character.
It does. I liked it. I didn't
Loved it.
mind, well, I mean, I didn't mind the cussing, but that's just because I do that
I read it
on
as
it
natural as I talk, so
on a daily basis. I was like, well, I don't care. Um, I was trying to find to see what this person rated the first
Kit
one.
McBride. Oh, I don't know how you could if it'll be easy to
Four.
find.
Four. She rated it a
Oh,
four.
okay. So she just wants super clean cut.
She
Not that Kit
she
was completely innocent, but it was
well,
definitely
she reads a
closer to
lot of
it.
historical romances, like a
Uh,
lot of historical. Okay, well, whatever. Anyways, for 1 star, and the one I don't even know was really a 1 star. They were giving
I
compliments.
say.
It was
That,
very
that sounded at
confusing,
least like a 3 star.
right? I was very thrown off. A lot of people loved it.
I was gonna say this
They
this
liked the build up.
series is probably challenging the Bromance Book Club for my favorite series, my romance series.
No, I really enjoy this. I mean, I'll always recommend these, but I definitely think if you're one that doesn't like a lot of spice,
Yeah, maybe this was not for you.
probably skip the second
But I
one.
also like it still explains who they are, where they are, so
Yeah.
it's not like you have to read the first one or the third, however, and you don't necessarily have to read them in order. Obviously, like if you read this one without reading Kit, then you'll
You're
be introduced to Kit and Maddie already as a couple.
yeah.
But
Yeah, it's gonna be fine.
and they're so cute standing next to each other because it like has the little picture on the side in between the name and the title. Oh, it's so
Yeah.
cute.
I was
So
hoping that I went on to Amy's Instagram in the hopes of like maybe something is in the works for the third book. No spoilers yet. Nothing yet.
yeah, I figured because in the first one by the back of the book had and coming soon Morgan McBride,
Yeah.
but this one didn't have anything. I wonder how Jonah McBride or Bo McBride.
Side
Uh,
note though, love her cat. Amy, I love your
yeah.
cat. Your cat is so fluffy. I don't know what its name is, but
Find
I
out.
am obsessed. So
I'm
just
trying to
wanted to
see if
throw that
it
out
says
there.
she also writes under the name Amy T. Matthews and Tess Lassue. I wonder what book she has under those names.
Well, let me go look.
I think they're probably not. Well, I would imagine people use pen names for a variety of reasons, but one probably like this is my romance
I
writing,
was
and then
gonna
this
say
one's my different genre
I'm always very intrigued by
pen names.
why people do that.
Well, I can see it in like maybe she writes sci-fi as one of the other ones, because then if like we heard Amy Berry writing a sci-fi, some people might have like a preconception of like, oh, it's gonna be like romantic and like not what they want. But if she writes under a different name, then they don't have any of that like baggage.
Amy T. Matthews books seem like kind of more well, this one talks about cancer and dying. It says like someone else's bucket list, End of the Night Girl.
Maybe more lit fic.
Yeah. And then Tess Lesu.
Lesu.
Lesu. Lesu. Oh, this was 110% like cowboy romance. You cannot tell me
Oh,
That
wow.
is
That
not.
Eden with the 90s picture of a cowboy in the sky.
Yeehaw.
Love it.
It's the, let's see.
Be like a reinvention.
Let me, not so mild-mannered academia.
Oh.
Interesting. She, there's only, oh, she hasn't written under the pen name Tesla Sue since 2019.
Yeah, maybe it's kind of just like a
And it's
reinventing herself,
and
really fresh.
it's only this,
Only that one.
the Frontiers of the Heart series. There's
She
only
wrote that and was
4 of
like, I
them.
need to
Yeah.
start over.
Interesting. Okay. Interesting.
Well,
I'm glad we
I
figured
have
that
the
one out.
romance book questions we can
Okay.
blast through.
Yes.
Tropes.
Close proximity. Like I don't want to say
Grumpy
forced,
Sunshine. It's kind of grumpy.
and I don't want to say forced marriage or like,
Mm-mm.
and it wasn't like enemies to lovers.
No,
I would say close proximity.
just forced proximity. Okay, spice rating.
I would say like a solid 3.5.
I was gonna say 3.5, because it's definitely not the spiciest thing we've read. But boy howdy.
I'm gonna say this every single time, but Priest has literally haunted me forever, and I don't know until there's a book in October that we will be getting into that I think might top Priest, but I'm a little scared. So
maybe I should
we'll
read the
see.
Priest before then, just so I know what.
So you can get on my level.
Yeah.
You're gonna be I would love to hear your thoughts on that.
Insert Tina moan. Couple believability.
I believe it. I believe it.
Slow burn? Question mark.
Yeah.
In the sense
because
that
they were
it takes a
stubborn.
while.
Because they were stubborn. Yeah. I'd say it. Yeah.
Okay. I have to word these last ones, because what do you think happens to the leads, at least for series? Because obviously they're gonna live their time together.
Yeah, they get married. They're gonna live in Bucks Creek. Yeah.
And then we'll probably see them in the next books anyway.
I hope so.
Yeah. Would you fall for either?
Morgan's voice might get me.
But he's so thick-skulled.
That's true. Yeah, it'd be a lot.
I love how they pointed out where he was talking, he's like, okay, good conversation, leaves, and she's like, I didn't say anything. You didn't listen to me at all.
He would be very stubborn, and I'd probably get blue in the face just trying to get through to him. Yeah.
Will you read the next one?
110%. Yeah.
How do you like the writing?
Loved it.
Good stuff.
I don't have a problem with cursing, because I do that anyways, and spice level,
and it's old-timey cursing too, so it's a lot of damn and
I don't
stuff like this.
I don't understand that person.
I prefer this one over Kit McBride's book. Which book do you prefer?
Probably the second one. Granny really honed it in for me.
You really did.
I really liked Granny.
So Kit McBride or Morgan McBride?
Between the two of them, probably Kit.
Kit. Just a little gently.
Morgan just seems way more rugged,
but Morgan travels.
That's true. That is true. I don't know. I feel like Morgan definitely, since he's the older one, he's got more things to worry about.
Yeah.
So I think
more responsibility.
Yeah.
So, which one are you more excited for, Jonah or Bo?
Bo. I want to, just with his mentality.
Yeah.
I want to see
the player, how that works.
Yeah, which one of them wins. I want to know. And also what happens
try to predict.
What happens to the second girl? Cuz obviously
I know. Maybe that one falls in love with Jonah and then that falls into Jonah's?
Maybe. That could be a fun little twist.
Cuz she's really good at wrapping up a story. With Vern, I was going to feel so bad when she Pip just ditched him. But then she brought up how he's not even divorced yet. And I was like, okay, we're good with Vern. I'm good with leaving Vern behind.
That cracked me up. Oh my god.
But we'll try to predict out of the four brothers,
Mm-hmm.
which one do you think you'll like the most?
I feel like I'm going to like Bo the most because I feel like he's going to have the most banter in the book.
Mm.
Because he's going to be
Yeah.
the most aware of, obviously, the bride. But also I feel like Jonah is shyer. And so it'll be nice to see him like kind of come out of his shell. But I feel like the
Yeah.
book with Bo is going to have the banter that I love with rom-coms that you are seeing more often, like with Emily Henry and Lucy Score. Like you're definitely seeing the banter more than like just the spice. So it kind of makes it feel more real.
Yeah, you get to know the characters.
Yeah.
And just a side note, at the end of this, Pip and Morgan decide to at least wait to have kids, which I really like that that was mentioned, that like, and how they were like, I kind of just thought you get married, you have kids, like that's just what you do.
That cracked me up. Like I could see them being like, oh, well I thought you thought, and
yeah. They're like, oh, I guess we can do what we want. So that was nice just to get different types of relationships.
I really liked it.
So yeah, 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, highly recommend.
Also, too, they were on their way to go and see her family, so I'm very intrigued on how that trip goes.
Oh yeah, I want to see the parents' face when they see that she actually got married in this.
Yeah.
Oh,
It'll be interesting.
Irked me.
I'm excited.
So, next week, turn the corner. I think this is technically a YA book.
I have no idea. I have mine in paperback. I didn't realize that yours
I have mine. It was Once Upon a Book Club.
Oh.
I'm not part of that subscription. I just got this at a used bookstore. But it came with a little card, and it mentioned how the author, Victoria Lee, we're reading A Lesson in Vengeance. And there is purposefully 0 male characters. They're all female or non-binary.
Huh. I did not know that.
Isn't that crazy?
I like that.
Like I wanted to like have evil characters, good characters without people trying to compare them to the male counterparts and like deciding they're evil because of what typical society. Anyway, yeah.
Huh.
So I'm very excited.
Okay.
It's gonna be cool. I'll probably forget that thought while reading it. So I'm interested to just like come back to that at the end and be like, wow, yeah, no, they're really
I'm trying to remember. I know I had that book on my wish list for a while until I found it somewhere, but I feel like I saw it on Book Talk. I feel like I get a lot of my books from Book Talk, honestly.
It's gorgeous. The cover's so pretty.
Yes, it's really pretty.
And it's a witchy book, so good little book to transition into the fall spooky season. And wait around and follow our Instagram at Baby Got Sass Podcast for our October schedule. You can check out the rest of our September, but we are really intense spooky season people. We love it.
So, we love the witches and the true crime and the thriller. So we are very excited for October picks. There's one that I'm very scared about, but we are going to get through it together.
Oh man. So yeah, check out our Instagram, see what books you need to pick up so you can read along with us. There's a link in the bio with all our Goodreads information. You can check out what books we have on there. If you have a request of us reading one on the podcast that you would like us to do sooner rather than later, let us know. I updated my book Goodreads yesterday because I got some new books.
I did see that.
Oopsie people. Browsers had a sale. Thank you, Abe.
We have to support it. We have to.
Yeah. Like and follow us wherever you're listening to this podcast right now. We have our episodes going up on YouTube for bonus content. we'll start doing actual videos, so you'll
Yeah.
have something to watch as well. I recently posted our latest bonus episode of our 24-hour readathon.
Ooh, that's a good one, guys.
Boy, was our voices, you just saw, you can hear the transition.
Oh, I can only imagine. I can only imagine. That one was a rough one.
Oh,
But I definitely think we should do it at some point. Maybe like
shit.
once a year.
Yeah, we can do once a year.
I think we need to do once a year.
It'll be a year before, like, we'll forget how the struggle. We forget the struggle by a year, and then we'll remember it, and then we'll forget it by the next year.
We need a year to like recuperate the
Yeah.
sleep deprivation that we put ourselves through.
But we made it.
We did. We
We
did.
made it.
I was impressed because we've tried it once before. We did not make it.
We didn't get the timing right. We really did not get the
No.
timing. Start
This time we
early.
got it right. Yes.
Yeah, we were up for a solid 24 hours. Nothing but reading.
Yeah.
Good time.
It was fun though. It was fun.
Yeah, it's nearly our 1 year anniversary, which is crazy.
Wild.
We'll have to figure out maybe like a bonus episode or something going around then. Otherwise, thanks for listening and check us out on other platforms. I did remember yesterday that I said in the last episode I could possibly make a TikTok of our September books. But I remember that yesterday. So I can still do it. Will I?
There's always October. There's October.
There's always October. I have a lot more like October Halloween decor.
We can just do October.
We can just
come on. We can just do October.
You've already waited this long. You can wait a little bit longer before you
Exactly.
Well, happy September. Hope you have a nice long weekend.
Happy Labor Day.
Have Monday off. Yes, happy Labor Day.
We are going to probably not remember tonight. We'll see.
It's never a goal. It just happens.
Our significant other's game choice is what the kids call rage cage, and that is where we mess up. So we have not all been together in quite some time. So we wanted to get it recorded while we are up and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed before things go downhill later this afternoon.
Yeah, my tail's gonna look sad later.
Yeah, it's gonna look really bad. So thought we'd get this taken care of.
Anyways, I guess that of course only applies if you're in America. Otherwise, have a nice weekend.
That's true. That's true.
I'm not even 100% sure what the historical context of this holiday is.
I don't either, but it gives us a Monday off, and you know what? I'm gonna take it. So
I already have Mondays off, so I don't even get my paid holiday.
That's really unfortunate.
I know. Anyways, you don't need to hear this.
Okay, well, now we're rambling. It happens every episode. We apologize. So next week, look forward to A Lesson of Vengeance. And
yeah. Oh, you froze. Yeah, it's time to go. Okay. Bye, guys.